Has the blueprint for the Chinese Navy's next-generation destroyer surfaced? Recently, a discussion on the 9,000-ton general-purpose destroyer made waves in the Chinese network. Netizens from academic papers to dig out the parameters of the ship, and military fans to create CG renderings corroborate each other. Seems to unveil the Chinese Navy after the 052D series of another heavy plan. This is called the 052E type of the new ship. This new ship, dubbed Type 052E, is a continuation of the 052D, or is it a transition to a 10,000-ton drive? This technical mystery triggered by thesis data not only touches the nerves of global observers of sea power, but also may indicate a revolution that overturns the definition of traditional frigate, is brewing in the shipyard on the banks of the Huangpu River. The source of the controversy can be traced back to the article, Overall Design Demonstration of a New Type of Surface Ship, published in the 6th issue of Ship Science and Technology in 2023, which disclosed the basic parameters of the ship that triggered a seismic reaction in the circle of military enthusiasts. 165-meter long and 19.6-meter wide golden ratio makes the standard displacement reach 6,800-ton level, and combined with the usual practice of ship design in China, the full loaded displacement is very likely to exceed 9,000-ton threshold. The full load displacement is likely to exceed the 9,000-ton threshold. The strategic considerations behind this figure are intriguing. It just fills the fault line between the 052DM and the 055 in service. What's more interesting is the 14-meter depth figure mentioned in the paper, which is 1.26 meters deeper than the U.S. Arleigh-Burke-class destroyers, and the extra vertical space is by no means a design redundancy. Experts familiar with China's shipborne weapons systems point out that this is most likely for the equipment of 9-meter HT-1 type vertical launch system reserved for the structure of the margin. Such a depth is sufficient to accommodate the YJ-21 hypersonic missiles of the complete launcher, which means that China's Navy for the first time to try to integrate the strategic level of the strike capability of the non-ton class platform. Technological breakthroughs in the power system have provided engineering feasibility for this idea. The latest disclosure of the CGT series of gas turbines by the 703rd Research Institute of China Shipbuilding Industry, CSIC, contains two models, 30 MW and 40 MW, with power curves that perfectly fit the power requirements of 9,000-ton ships. According to the simulation data from Jiangnan Shipyard, this type of ship can realize 30 knots of ultimate speed under the configuration of dual-engine propulsion, and the endurance is more than 6,000 nautical miles when cruising at 18 knots of economic speed, which not only exceeds the record of 5,800 nautical miles of the British Type 45 destroyer, but also implies that it is capable of completing the round trip from Qingdao to Hawaii without relying on the supply ship. It is worth paying attention to. The paper especially emphasizes all-electric propulsion system compatibility design, which implies that this type of ship may adopt the world's first diesel-fueled hybrid power architecture in order to ensure high-speed maneuverability at the same time, for the future of directed energy weapons on board the ship to reserve abundant power reserves. The innovative direction of weapon configuration reflects the profound transformation of the Chinese Navy's combat concept. Network circulation of the big package CG design drawings, the Fredec 48 units and the middle of the 32 units of the Patata raised to break the traditional layout. This innovative design makes the ship 8,850 mm caliber Patat units not only to maintain forward fire density, but also for the transom of the double hangar to make valuable space. More critically, the launch tube depth of 9 meters not only can accommodate the range of 1,500 kilometers of YJ-21 anti-ship ballistic missiles, but also can deploy longsword -20 land attack cruise missiles to achieve a Pit-4 bombs technology hypersonic weaponization. Compared to the current 052D series, can only carry YJ-18 subsonic anti-ship missiles limitations. The new ship's strike radius will expand to the second island chain. Its multi-mission compatibility with the 055 type destroyer. The upgrade of the shipboard radar system is also remarkable, transplanted from the 054B frigate, back-to-back, Type S plus X-band double-sided rotating radar, with gallium nitride components and digital array technology, so that the ship in the electronic countermeasures environment target refresh rate increased by 300%, the stealth target detection distance exceeded the threshold of 400 kilometers. The strategic level of consideration is more far-reaching layout, with the 052D series about to complete the construction of the 38th ship program. The Chinese Navy is facing a strategic window for the replacement of the main frigate. Although the existing 052DM type through the replacement of 346B phased array radar detection range increased to 500 kilometers and can be integrated to intercept intermediate-range ballistic missiles kinetic energy interceptors, but its slender hull design has been approaching the physical limit, 7.5 meters of the type of deep serious constraints on the pitot tube system upgrade space, resulting in the inability to adapt to a new generation of hypersonic weapons. On the other hand, the 9,000-ton platform's 14-meter depth and 19.6-meter width form a golden ratio that not only ensures habitability for 72 hours of continuous operation, but also leaves plenty of redundancy for technological upgrades in the next 2 decades. This design philosophy is evident in the thesis. The research team has demonstrated the concept of modularized weapons bay, which allows for the rapid replacement of missile combinations according to mission requirements, such as the deployment of anti-ship ballistic missiles, plus anti-submarine rocket torpedoes in the direction of the Taiwan Straits, while escorting in the Gulf of Aden, switching to cruise missiles plus shipborne drone launch tubes. With the United States and Japan and other countries, in the development of naval equipment horizontal comparison, more can highlight the strategic wisdom of China's naval industry. The US Navy Constellation class frigate boasts modular design, but because of the excessive pursuit of multifunctionality led to the cost soared to $1.1 billion, and the delivery of the first ship has been delayed to 2026. Japan's most advanced, Moya class destroyer is equipped with 128 units of vertical hair system, but its anti-missile design leads to the multitasking capability is severely limited. On the other hand, China's 9,000-ton warship, through the standardization of pitot tube diameter, generalized radar base and prefabricated pipeline section, the single ship construction cost will be limited to less than $800 million, only 60% of the Burke III type destroyer. This, moderately ahead of plus mass production, combination punch, is rewriting the economics of the global naval equipment race rules when the United States to maintain the 355-ship scale of anxiety. The Chinese Navy with efficient shipbuilding capacity, or will be the first to realize the 100 ships together of the blue water naval dream. It is important to note that this type of ship may carry tactical innovations far beyond the outside world's imagination. The manned unmanned coordinated operations chapter, which appears several times in the paper, reveals the data chain fusion program between the shipboard command system and the Attack 11 drone and Shu-001 unmanned submarine vehicle. This means that each new destroyer can serve as a distributed combat node, commanding 12 shipborne drones to carry out reconnaissance and strike missions 500 kilometers away. What's even more shocking is the intelligent ammunition management system mentioned in the article, which optimizes the loading sequence of missiles through artificial intelligence algorithms and shortens the preparation time for a second attack to 1/3 of that of an active ship. These technological innovations and the US military's mosaic warfare concept form an interesting echo, but there is an intrinsic difference. China's program emphasizes the progressive intelligentization of the existing equipment system. The Chinese proposal emphasizes the incremental intelligence of existing equipment systems, rather than a technological risk-taking exercise. Of course, these exciting speculations need to be examined rationally. The so-called Type 052E designation is only a convention among the military fan community, and the Chinese Navy has always taken a cautious approach to ship types. The data in the paper may also correspond to an early technical verification program, and the final production version may be adjusted in terms of the number of radar arrays and the layout of the drogue unit. However, it is undeniable that China's naval industry, after 052C to 055 technology accumulation, has a 9,000-ton platform integration of cutting-edge combat systems completability. When the US Navy is still for the Jumbo Walter class failure, China's development mode of small steps and fast-running plus technology research is the East China Sea is pregnant with a change in the pattern of the world's maritime power of the new species. Perhaps it won't be too long before the balance of power in the Western Pacific Ocean will be decisively tilted, when this warship, which combines hypersonic strikes, intelligent command and control and distributed combat capabilities, really cuts through the waves.